Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'll be showing you guys how to cut simple pencil skirts. But before I go into this video, I would like to thank the viewers, my subscribers, for always being supportive. And if you are tuning in for the first, I would like to say a big thank you to you. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification so as to be the first to be notified when I make a newer video. Alright, with that said, let's get ready for the video. In today's video, I'll be using this as my fabrics. This is going to serve as my fabrics. It's going to serve as our fabric. This is how we fold. This is how we fold. As you can see. So you would fold this into two like this. This is the measurement we'll be using. The waist is 20, the hips is 28, while the length is 24. So when you must have fold this into two, this is going to serve as our fabrics. After folding, you fold again. Mind you, this part is open while the other part is closed. You have to be careful with this. They are not the same, okay? Because we are cutting both the front and the back together, so you have to be careful here. All right, make sure they are equal. And you fold with allowance. You have to give allowance here. Allowance of 1.5, 1 inch, and 2 inch, depending on whatever you want. But this one is 1.2 allowance. This is for the zip allowance. So before you start your marking, first of all, you take the length of the skirt. Take the length of the skirt from here. You mark the length is 24. You mark your 24. Then you add 2 inches allowance. Add 2 inches allowance. You can decide to add 2.5, 3 inches. It's up to you. As long as there is fabrics, you can add any amount of allowance you want, but I'll be using 2 inches here. The next thing is the waist of the person. The waist is 20. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Divided by 4 is 5. Then you mark. You mark from this point. You mark from this point, not from the other point. Okay, you place it like this. Place it here. Place it here, then you mark. Mark at 5. Then 2 inches allowance. Like I said earlier, you can make it 2.5. It's up to you. But I will be using 2 inches here. Then from this point, for the hips, the next thing is the hips measurement. I always use mine as my hips measurement, regardless of the person's hip. So you have to be careful here. Some people has down hip, some people have up hip. So I always use 9 for my hips. So you mark from this point downward. Mark at 9. Before you take, after you mark, then you take the hip measurement. The hips is 28 or so. The hips is 28. you divide it by 4. 28 divided by 4, you start from that same point and go in. We have 7. We have 7. Then plus 2 inches allowance. Then for the down, since what we are working on is pencil skirt, we use the same measurement we got from the waist to make this skirt pencil. We got 5 plus 2 inches that we added, which is 7. That is what we'll be using on the nail. This is how you make your skirt pencil. There's nothing else you use, because the waist is more tinier than your hips. But if you want it free, you can use your hip measurements. You can bring it down, use the same hip measurement, which is 7 plus 2 inches allowance. But here we got from the waist, we got 5. We'll be adding 2 inches allowance to it. So I'll mark at 7 here. So I'm done with the marking. Then I'll sketch. I'll draw the lines. This is it. This is looking like a skirt gradually. It's looking like what we want. Okay, as you can see, it's perfect. It's perfect. The next thing we'll get is the dart. For the dart, you start from this same point. You mark at 4. From here, you mark 4. Then how long you want the dart to be? I always use 5. 5 is what I always use. I mark at 5. Then before I draw my lines, mark again 5 here. The reason why I'm doing this, so they will be equal to avoid any mistake. So 5, and just join the line there. This is it. From here to here is 4 inches. From there to here is 5 inches. From here is 4 inches. 4 inches up, 4 inches downward. Then from this line down is 5 inches. From this point to this place is 9 inches. Please don't forget, before you mark your hips, it's 9 inches. So the next thing is the slit. Mind you, this is a short skirt. This is a short skirt. For short skirts, I always use 5 inches for my slits. But remember, we added 2 inches for the allowance. So if when you're adding 5 inch, you add the extra 2 inches we added, which is 7 inches. So if you, in case if you use 3 inches as your allowance, you have to add 3 inches to the 5 inch, making it 8 inches. So that is it. Mine is 7 inches altogether, including the allowance. And the next one is your zip. You have to include your zip. For the zip, I use 7 inches for the zip. 7 inches for zip. So this is it. From this point down, either you apply your zip. So when you want to sew, you sew from this point to this point, leaving the two sides. You have to just sew the middle.